meeting to order. Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Secretary, roll call.
Mr. Cullen?
Here.
Mr. D'Angelo?
Here.
Mr. Parolo?
Here.
Mr. Poliafico?
Here.
Mr. Poplawski?
Here.
Mr. Rusin?
Here.
Ms. Paglione?
Ms. Paglione is excused. She had a broken arm and had surgery yesterday, and I spoke to her. She's doing fine, so that's best wishes to her.
Mr. Ticoletti?
Yes, here. Okay, do I have a motion to approve the complete agenda
Yeah, Mr.
with said
President,
addendum?
I would motion that we approve the agenda with said addendums.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstentions? Okay, Mr. Truelove couldn't be here tonight, so Mr. Hauser is taking his place.
Yes. I do want to report the board met in executive session at 6:30 this evening. The subject matters were personnel and an informational presentation by the superintendent regarding school policy. The members of the board present before you were attending, as were Mr. McHugh and Dr. Benetti. The executive session ended at 6:48.
Thank you, Mr. Hauser. Dr. Benetti?
Thank you. My first item is the proposed uniform changes to our uniform policy at the elementary school. At our last meeting, we discussed some possible changes to the elementary dress code. And after consideration with Mrs. Rosado, we are bringing forth to the board our proposal, which is to remove the current uniform policy at the elementary school and to just institute the dress and grooming uniform policy, which would be the policy then K to 12. That's the policy that's generally at the high school and middle school. We have found over the years that there's been a discrepancy in the number of students who are actually following the uniform policy. It's become an issue for some parents affording 2 sets of clothes, one for just school with a uniform and then others for home. And we don't want to exclude elementary students from school if they're coming in and they don't have the uniform on. We don't want to keep them out of classes and such. So we are proposing that we follow just the dress and grooming uniform policy that is policy 221 and 221.1 in our policy manual. So that I'm putting that forward to the board this evening. We had a very nice opening over the past 2 days. It was so nice to see all of the kids back and in classes, and the whole energy of having everyone and all the students back in the buildings was just wonderful. The principals did a great job getting everything ready and prepared for the kids to return, and everybody was just on board and really working hard to make sure that everybody had a great experience in the past 2 days. So as always, the first day is always crazy, people trying to figure out where they're going and all that, but today, being in the buildings, it was like we've been here forever. So it was so nice after 18 months to have 2 normal school days, and the students were very compliant all the way around with everything that we have asked them to do. So I want to thank the parents for having them prepared and ready to learn in our first week of school, and we are really enjoying having everybody back. I would also like to talk a little bit about the tornado response last week. And as you know, we had a tornado that touched down right past Mill Street, and it actually took the roofs off some of the townhouses that are down in that area. So I'd like to thank Merrill Winslow for all of his coordination, getting things together and responding to that. Casey Kohler from the IU was also involved, and our people were quick to respond. I called Mr. Gatto, and he was able to get Mr. Cullen down, and they actually opened up this building as a shelter. And then we had Mr. Lebo, who is our head bus driver. He came, and this was all at 11 o'clock at night. He came and actually took a bus down to pick people up and to bring them up to the school. So I really would like to thank our employees who stepped up during that emergency response and for the betterment of the community, came out and really donated their time and helped out with all of that. So thank you very much to them. The air conditioning units in the 8th grade wing, the air conditioning heat units are in and installed. So they should be up and running and ready to go. Back to school nights are next week. Monday is the high school, middle school at 6:30, and Tuesday is the elementary school, and that is also at 6:30. So parents are welcome to come in and meet their students' teachers. And one more I have is the 7th grade YMCA, the local YMCA, is offering free memberships to any student in 7th grade. So if we have a parent who's interested in having their child participate in the YMCA, it's free for 7th grade students. We will be posting something up on our website, but I just wanted parents to know that that is an opportunity that is available to them. So that is all I have for today.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Manitti. Mr. Nastasi and Mrs. Rosado, I'll hold your comments to the end when we go around the horn. Is that okay? Yes. Okay, public participation. Anyone from the public would like to speak on anything, take the podium. No one from the public? Okay, that closes public participation. Okay, so under new business, excuse me, we had 2 applicants to fill the vacant school director term, which basically ends at the end of November 2021. The 2 applicants were Tony Smith and Dory A. Morgan. So I'm going to ask for a motion to nominate whatever candidate board members choose, and then we'll have a vote. Do I have any nominations?
Yes, I do. I want to nominate Dory Morgan. She got quite an impressive resume here, and she's been very active in school board meetings and school policies, okay? And I think she'd be a perfect fit for us.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Polyafco? Do I have any other nominations?
Yeah, I'd like to nominate Anthony Smith.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen? Okay, Madam Secretary, will you please do a roll call vote? I believe this is a simple majority. Am I correct, Mr. Hauser?
Mr. President, I would advise that you take each candidate in order and then simple majority on each candidate in the order they were received.
Okay, so we'll start with Mr. Smith. Okay, so we'll ask for Mr. Smith.
Okay, Mr. Cullen,
Yes.
Mr. D'Angelo,
Yes.
Mr. Parolo,
Yes.
Mr. Polyafco,
No.
Mr. Poplawski,
Yes.
Mr. Rusin,
No.
and Mr. Chicoletti.
Yes. Okay, so now we'll take nominations, votes for Dory A. Morgan. Madam Secretary?
Okay, Mr. Cullen,
No.
Mr. D'Angelo,
No.
Mr. Parolo,
No.
Mr. Polyafco,
Yes.
Mr. Poplawski,
No.
Mr. Rusin,
Yes.
and Mr. Chicoletti.
No. Okay, Mr. Smith, welcome. Judge Parentu, will you swear Mr. Smith in? Mr. Smith, step forward. Do we have a Bible?
Yes.
Mr. Smith, would you like someone to hold the Bible for you?
First of all, I want to say it's an honor to be here. I always enjoy coming here and swearing new people into the board. I said to a few people earlier, I said, I don't know this Mr. Smith. Well, as it turns out, I know him real well. His father was a very dear friend of mine when I was a police officer in Ben Salem, and I've known the family probably 40 years. So good to see him being involved. Place your hand on the Bible. You're going to repeat after me. I'm going to say aye, and you're going to state your name. I do solemnly swear I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth. I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity. Congratulations, you're a citizen.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Brenton, Judge Brenton. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for coming out tonight.
I'm just going to interrupt a few minutes while I'm going down.
Okay.
I have one.
Here, an extra one?
I have one.
Here, I got one. You want to sit down? There you go. Yeah, sit down. I brought one for him. Any anticipation?
I think Big Al gave me one, so just see if Big Al needs one.
I got one. Yeah, I got one. Yeah, I just.
Yes, two.
Next to the I won't pick it up. Thank you. Yeah, you got it.
Okay, Tony, here's the agenda, so we're going to be picking up right here, okay? If you don't feel comfortable with anything, you could abstain on it if you don't have any information, okay?
He said the one that I was just running. He's having a good year.
Okay, you want me to go,
Okay, so moving on with the agenda, we're going to do item B.
Mr. President, I motion that we approve the attached list of district salaries for the 2021-2022 fiscal year as required by the Pennsylvania Department of Education.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cohen? Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Item number C.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the changes to the school uniforms policy 22.1 as outlined by Dr. Minetti earlier.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cohen? Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Personnel, item 6A.
Mr. President, I motion that we approve tenure for the following teachers: Peter DeLuca, Stephanie Hagan, Melissa Huber, Susan Marchese, Heather Nicholas, Haley Obrocto, and Melanie Snyder.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Collin? Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Item B.
Mr. President, I motion that we approve to appoint Thomas Schaefer, Doctor of Education, as acting superintendent for the upcoming year. As per PA School Code, an acting superintendent cannot serve for longer than 1 year. Effective starting date is October 4th, 2021.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen? Questions? Mr. Hauser?
Yes, Mr. President, I just want to inform the members of the public sitting in the audience and those that may be watching or hearing this elsewhere or at a later point. This appointment would be pursuant to an agreement with the Bucks County IU for a per diem rate, and that that agreement would basically be also approved with the appointment should that occur tonight.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hauser. Any questions?
Yes.
Yes.
What's his rate of pay?
His rate of pay? Or the,
What's Dr.
Tom Schaefer.
Schaefer going to be paid? We didn't discuss that at all, or didn't even,
Dr. Schaefer, I believe, Dr. Minetti, do you?
I have the numbers.
Do you have a contract?
It's $742.50 a day.
And I believe some of that salary, it goes to the IU.
Correct.
Right, so he.
$250 a day goes to the IU.
$250 a day, so Dr. Schaefer would be working for $400 and something a day, which I believe comes out to about the same thing, close to Dr. Minetti's salary,
Correct.
Correct.
minus benefits and pension contributions, which is roughly, Chris,
34% of his salary, whatever, so at least $40,000.
at least, so we would be saving $40,000 because he is retired, so not so much as a savings, but coming under contract because he's retired.
I mean, we should have, I guess we should have asked these questions in the executive session, but, yeah, because I had a couple, but I'm not going to ask them out here, but that's fine. We're good.
Okay, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Item C.
Mr. President, I motion that we approve to appoint the following supplemental positions. The rates as per the master agreement effective the 2021-2022 school year. That will be Danielle Lehrer as the Junior National Honor Society at 15%, Serena Haywood, varsity cheerleading at 70%, and Jacqueline Taggart, JV cheerleading at 40%.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen, any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstention? Motion carries. Item D.
Mr. President, approve the resignation of Thomas Petrucci, bus driver. Thomas has been with the school district for 24 years.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays?
Aye. Can I just say one thing? I just want to congratulate Tom and thank him for 24 years of service. I know our business manager, Chris, will say that he was always there, always made sure our kids got back and forth in a safe manner, and I hope he enjoys his retirement.
Sorry about that, mask broke. Okay, thank you, Mr. D'Angelo. So that was a 6-1 vote. With one, no. Item E.
Item E, approve to appoint Thomas Hunton as bus driver. Salary is $21.52 an hour, no benefits as per negotiated agreement, effective 2021-2022 school year, pending all clearances.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Minetti. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Item F.
Mr. President, I motion that we approve the appointment of the following substitute teachers effective the 2021-2022 school year, and that would be Kelly Barb and Doreen McVan.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen? Questions? All those in...
I got a question. Are they math teachers, are they English teachers, or what are they, or are they all over?
Substitute.
They're substitutes. They could work anywhere. And I know that Doreen McVan is a retired music teacher. I'm not familiar with Kelly Barb. Dr. Benetti, I assume she's a certified teacher.
She's not certified.
No, she's not certified
But she's
College
She
a
has-
daily sub.
She has the necessary paperwork.
to be a
Yes.
sub. Mhm. So
Okay.
they would just fill in when people are out.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Dr. Minetti. Thank you, Jennifer. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? All right.
Item G.
Item G.
Mr. President, I motion that to approve to appoint Thomas Halkowski as an elementary intervention long-term substitute. Salary at the master's degree, step 1, as per our master agreement, effective 2021-2022 school year.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Polyafco? Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Item H.
Item H would be, I motion to approve to appoint Amy Daly as our high school, middle school nurse. Salary at the master's, step 3, as per our master agreement, effective the 2021-2022 school year.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cohen? Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Item I.
Mr. President, I motion to approve to appoint the following paraprofessionals. salary $26,756 per year with benefits as per negotiated agreement, effective the 2021-2022 school year, pending all clearances. That would be Peter DeLuca III and Abigail Malone.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Palafko? Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? IU representative? Anyone from the IU not here tonight? Information and discussion. Next public meeting is scheduled for Thursday, September 23rd. We'll go around the horn. Let me start with the principal, Mr. Nastasi first, high school principal.
Yes, just a couple things. Today was the first day that our dual enrollment classes started. We had 12 students that was picked up today, and class was at the Bristol campus at Bucks Community College. It was our Microsoft Word class, and it was from 3 to 4:30. All the students got new computers with briefcases, and all their supplies that they need will be supplied over to community college. So I'm excited to talk to them tomorrow morning and see how it went today. So that was our kickoff today.
So they'll receive college credits for that course, correct?
So there's a sister class in the spring. It's Microsoft Excel. They'll have to do a presentation when it's all over and done with, and then there's a form they got to fill out, but that can convert into 3 college credits. So
Anything else, Mr. Nastasi?
that's it.
Mrs. Rosado?
Okay, thank you. Just a few things. On Friday, being that the tornado canceled our open house on Thursday, we were able to set up outside a bunch of tables with some giveaways for our families, which included supplies, book bags, thousands of books. And people just came and took what they wanted. The supplies were donated by the United Way along with the book bags. And so at least we had that opportunity to give out some of that stuff, which was a good thing. I wanted to thank the teachers for their diligence. The first 4 days of school, we had a lot of trainings for the new programs, and it's a hard time because I know they're wanting to be in their classrooms and set up, but at the same time, the trainings were important, so they really were focused and committed to, learning the new programs. So I'm excited to see how well that goes for us. And then, of course, thank you to the custodians and Josette in the office, who's with me, like getting everything ready over the summer. The custodians, every time I call them and say, I need this, can you do it, can you help? And they've been great. They've converted, as you know, we had training in here on Thursday. This was converted into now what is one of our lunchrooms so that we can social distance. And of course, just the teachers and being ready to accept the kids. And yesterday we had on the first day of school, we had a fire drill. It went very well, inadvertent. But it just shows that even on the first day of school, like how well the students respond to the staff, and the teachers just led the way, and it was a warm feeling. It was during kindergarten and first grade lunches, so I would never plan that, ever. But everybody evacuated, and they just never ceased to amaze me. It's like we didn't miss a beat. So I'm happy to have everybody back. So very, very great start to the school year.
Anything else?
No,
That's it?
that's it. Thank you.
Mrs. Rosado. Okay, we'll go around the horn. Mr. Smith, would you like to say anything for your first meeting?
Thank you and welcome me.
Congratulations.
I can't wait to see what the year brings.
Okay. Mr. Poplawski?
I just want to thank the teachers and the administration for a good 2 days. As you know, I have 3 kids in the district, so they were excited when they came home. And, it was a long time coming, even though they were back towards the end of the year, but just kind of getting back into the full swing of it. So, thank you.
Anything else?
That's it.
Mr. Parola?
Yeah, I'd like to congratulate Tony on your appointment, and I'd like to thank all the administrators and all for the start of the school year. Everything went smooth, Dr. Rose, and hopefully the whole year will go that way. Thank you.
Mr. D'Angelo?
Yeah, just one thing. Monday, September 20th, at the Spring Mills Golf Club, the Bristol Athletic Association's having their golf tournament. Anyone that's interested, just please reach out to Mr. McHugh, and he can get in touch with me, and I'll put you in touch with all the things that you have to do. We raise money, and each year we give about $6,000 in scholarships to graduating seniors. And so again, it's Monday, September 20th. Anyone interested, please reach out. Thank you.
Mr. Polyafco.
Yeah, I just want to wish everybody a great school year, teachers, students, faculty, administration, everybody. Also, I want to wish Tommy Petrucci a super great retirement, and welcome Tony Smith to the board.
Mr. Rusin.
Yeah, I want to thank both candidates for their interest in the school district, the school board. And I just want to welcome Mr. Smith to the board. That's it.
Thank you.
Mr. Cullen.
Yes, I just want to thank, I think the school looks great. I took a walk around. I mean, the teachers and administration did a fantastic job. The school looks, tip-top shape. I mean, really, really nice. I think the teachers and the administration and everybody work together. It looks really nice. And I just wanted to say that Bristol Borough's Soccer League for our young kids, I've seen a lot of kids from Warren Snyder and the high school over participating in the borough has a new soccer program over there, and there was a ton of kids over there yesterday when I was, they had all 3 fields going, and, a couple different practices, and a lot of volunteers, and it looks, I'm really excited to see our kids are back in some kind of recreation because, they haven't been doing anything because of the pandemic. We had when Mr. Nastasi, he had the basketball program, recreation program a couple of years ago. We had to stop that because of, the pandemic and stuff, and I'm glad to see that we're back and doing that right now. And I'd like to also welcome Tony to the board also. Thank you.
What fields were these? Excuse me.
What they used to field, Otter Street. They have like 3 soccer fields now.
Yeah, there's a couple, 2 small ones like
Right,
it, and
and then there's one going
big
across the
size.
back.
Good.
What fields were they? What fields did you say they were?
Otter Street. Otter Street.
How does that coincide with St. Mark's?
Monday, Wednesday is recreation, and Tuesday, Thursdays is St. Mark's. Saturday afternoon is recreation, Sunday morning is recreation, and the opposite is CYSO.
I wasn't done.
Mr. Cullen, anything else?
Good.
No,
Good. No,
I think Jeff has something else to
No,
say.
that's okay. No, there's a lot of kids out there.
No,
It's great.
no, I'm fine, I'm done.
I'm glad. Good job.
Dr. Minetti?
Mr. Pops.
I just wanted to mention for the Microsoft program that Mr. Nastasi mentioned, that was funded through a grant from the AOC. So we'd like to thank them for their generous support of that program. I'd like to welcome Mr. Smith to the board, and I'd also like to thank Ms. Morgan for all of her support, always in the schools. She's very, very active with our student organizations and does a fantastic job helping out as a parent too. So thank you very much for your interest.
We have back to school night next week, don't we?
Back to school nights, yep.
Okay, let's remind
Monday,
everyone,
yep.
when is that?
Monday, high school, middle school, 6:30. Tuesday, elementary, 6:30.
Mr. Hauser.
I just want to thank the board again for its warm welcome. It's nice to actually see you all in person for once. And Mr. Truelove and I would like to extend our welcome to Mr. Smith and look forward to working with him for the remainder of the school year. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Hauser. Mr. McHugh?
I just want to thank Tom Petrucci for his many years of service to the school district and for my 8 that I've spent with him. He was always a pleasure. Guy you can call at a moment's notice, and he would show up and never missed a day. Great job.
Okay. Final comment. Wanted to thank the administration, the teachers for a smooth transition into another year. Mr. Gatto was going to be here to report on the air purifiers that we purchased to put in every classroom. They're very effective. We had tested one, so he's under the weather tonight, but he will be here to explain how these HEPA filters work at our next meeting. So we're purchasing everything so that
we can make the school safe for all of our students, teachers, faculty, all of our members. The money will be used from the grant money that we received from the federal government to purchase equipment. And we'll put as much of those funds towards enhancing the air quality in the school because we want the children, me personally, I'd like the children to be in the classroom learning rather than the virtual, so we'll do everything to make that happen. One other thing, we will be getting our reports, Dr. Minetti, on our weekly COVID,
Yes.
okay? So next week,
We're not getting them we haven't been getting them from the DOH, so the only reports that we know are the ones that we find out.
here, yes, okay, so we'll
So
start.
would you have that?
Yeah, we'll start next week, I guess. We'll start that next week so that the board is aware of how many COVID cases are here in Bristol Borough. Welcome, Mr. Smith, and I'll ask for a motion to adjourn tonight's,
I'll make a motion.
yep, have a second? Second. Mr. D'Angelo. Meeting adjourned.